All right, welcome to Monday night's Team Roots Oil Talk. And tonight we're going to continue the series that we've been going through over the last several months. And when I first started, a lot of us got trained on the top 10 oils, but we didn't always get advanced education in all of the oils. And so I sat down and made a series of classes to try to cover all the oils. Now doTERRA has introduced a whole slew of new oils. So coming in March, I'll have a brand new addition to this series with just our new oils. So tonight we're going to go over some really amazing oils. I'm sure some of them you've never heard of, and many that you have definitely heard of that are a little hard to get a hold of. So if you'll bear with me, we're going to go ahead and get started. The first one here is Douglas Fir. And Douglas Fir comes in a 5 ml, and you may have it and it may not be. All right, so Mitch says there's no sound. Is anybody else having trouble hearing me? All right, others can hear me, so maybe it's on your end, Midge. Maybe you want to check that source. I'm not sure. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. So Douglas Fir comes in a 5 ml, and it's something you may or may not have this one. It's not super common, but it is one of a newer oil that doTERRA came out in the last couple of years. And so it is a tree that lives a longer life than other firs. So it's considered the wise fir, if you will. Emotionally, this is the oil of generational wisdom. So it's a good oil for when you are burdened with family issues, if you need wisdom with family, and when you're learning from your past. It's a very interesting emotional side. A lot of these oils have very interesting emotional sides you will find tonight. Because the oils are going to help us on a physical level, but they also can affect our emotions, as we know. And so they can help us feel, happy, or they can help us feel free. They can do a lot of things emotionally for us too. So that's why I like to touch on both sides. And just in case you're wondering, the resources that I use are naturally, the Modern Essentials book. My group's Naturally Successful, so that's my other resource, of course. And then the Emotional Handbook is also very helpful in learning about how the oils work on an emotional level. So Douglas Fir is used aromatically, topical and internal, and you can put it neat right on your skin. It doesn't have to be diluted, but feel free to dilute that if that's something that you feel that you need to do. The scent is clean and fresh and woody and airy. It comes from New Zealand. And what's fascinating about this is that there's an overgrowth of these trees in New Zealand, and they often get just discarded. And now doTERRA uses that resource for our oils. And it's amazing because the oil that we get is from these fresh, beautiful trees. From the pine, the needles. And it's so beneficial for us, and it's just this constant renewing source for us. So we don't have to worry about running out. So doTERRA is very concerned with sustainability always. All right. Let's see what else. It's also going to be great for respiratory. So it's going to help with easy breathing and clear airways. So if you know someone who's struggling maybe with a seasonal allergy or a cold, or just something that's going on in their respiratory tract, you can help with that with using Douglas Fir. All right, and it's also great for cleansing and purifying of the skin. It can promote a positive mood, and it provides a sense of focus. All right, so you could add it to a drop or two of wintergreen for a nice, relaxing massage. It's very interesting. All right, so our next oil that we're going to talk about is thyme. Now, thyme is one of the oils I really didn't know what to do with, and I bought it at the end after I had almost all the oils because I had to finish my collection. It's kind of how thyme got stuck into the last class too, because it just isn't one that we talk about very much, right? Maybe you use it more than I do. If you have some uses for thyme that we're not familiar with, put them in the chat bar so we can all learn from you too. But thyme, emotionally speaking, it is the oil of releasing and forgiving. I think we all need a little bit of time now, right? It's good. It's really good to help us release and forgive. Thyme is a very powerful cleanser in the body. It's going to help with cleansing. So it's also going to help that way on an emotional level, which I find fascinating. It's going to help us resolve negative and toxic emotions, resentment. It's going to help us release some of those things. So use time and see how that helps you. It is aromatic, topical, and internal. And you would want to dilute this one before you put it on your skin, because this one can tend to be a hotter oil. It's never affected me, but if you want to put it on your skin, I would definitely dilute it just to be on the safe side. It smells herbaceous, floral. One description even said powdery. It's going to be, like I said, cleansing. So it's cleansing to the skin. It's cleansing to your body. You can add this to your diffuser to promote a sense of alertness. So I wouldn't just do thyme by itself, but maybe add it to something. Okay, so find an oil that smells good with it, and you could add that to your diffuser for alertness. This is also going to help support a healthy immune function. Another interesting fact is that it helps repel insects naturally. So if there's, if you're outside and you want to use something and you're like, oh, all I have is time, it might help. You just never know. I know we went to Symphony of the Cells recently, and Boyd Truman, he just closed his eyes and grabbed an oil, and he said, it's really not that hard. Every oil is going to do amazing things. So just grab one. So you might just happen to have time, and there's another use for it. You can also use it in place of dried thyme. So when you're cooking, you can put it in place. So I would use 1 to 2 drops for about a tablespoon of dry spice. All right, so let's go on to our next oil. The next one is popular. This is Jasmine. Up until last year, Jasmine was not available for purchase, the year before. But now we have the Jasmine Touch Rollerball. So that is very exciting. When I made this class originally, we didn't have access to Jasmine. So this class was kind of like the out of reach oils, but now we have it. We get our Jasmine from southern India. This is the emotional side of this oil should not be surprising, because it's called the Queen of the Night for a reason. Okay, it's the oil of sexual purity and balance, and it helps with healing, self-acceptance, and with intimacy. So this is a great oil, especially going into February. Well, obviously, we get our jasmine from the flowers, and it has a intensely floral, warm, musky, exotic scent. That's what it smells like. And this one is aromatic and topical. Because it's in a roller ball, we don't suggest doing it internal. Okay, this is a treasured fragrance by women for centuries because of its beautiful aphrodisiac-like fragrance. It can be used in all kinds of perfumes and incense all throughout history. You can find that, teas and all sort of things. It's neat to look back and find them in history. And so we still have those, we're using those. Body systems that we're going to affect here. So we're looking at the emotional side. So emotional balance, hormonal balance, just like we said, Queen of the Night, oil for sexual purity and balance. Obviously, I see that leading towards that hormone side too. So you can use that. I would just put it on your wrists, over your heart. Those are great places for that balance. It's definitely uplifting to the emotions, and it's going to evoke feelings of joy and peace and self-confidence. All right, this is great. It's also great for your skin too. So it's good for healthy looking, glowing complexion. Combine that with your yarrow palm. We're gonna start aging backwards, ladies. All right, so let's go on to the next one. The next oil is DTERRA Prime. And up until, I don't know, probably a month ago, I wasn't using this oil on a daily basis, but I am now, and I'm going to encourage every single one of you to use this oil on a daily basis, DTERRA Prime. So this is a blend of oils, and you can use it aromatically, topically, or internally. I suggest internally. This is going to help promote DNA and cellular health. Let's think about what is the opposite of cellular health, right? The opposite is, not good. We want to focus on getting our cells healthy, and this is going to support healthy cellular function. There are free radicals in our environment that put stress on our cells, and we need this because it's going to help reduce that process. I encourage you to do your research and really dig deep on this oil. Emotionally, this oil is the oil of transformation. So if you need a personal transformation, this is putting off the old, putting on the new. It's really good for balancing and being open to change. It's January, it's a new year. Sounds like a great oil for a new year, right? The oil of transformation. All right, so it's going to provide you with antioxidant support and benefits. These are the oils that are in the blend. I think that's important to note too. Excuse me. Frankincense, wild orange, lemongrass, thyme, summer savory, clove, and naoli. Now, I wanted to take lemongrass every day for health reasons. And it is so easy to take that within this capsule. So I like to take the DTERRA Prime capsules, gel caps, daily. And it's giving me the lemongrass. It's also giving me all that frankincense that's so good for me. And everything else in there is really good too. And so that thyme is in there too. It's doing so much good for your body. So just if you can get that DTERRA Prime, get it and take 1 or 2 every day. All right, so I would suggest the soft gels for sure. I tried with the oil first, but it does not taste good, just saying, that thyme and Okay, so you can also use it for a massage, topical massage. And this will help you emotionally with feelings of doubt and despair because it's gonna lead you towards that transformation period, right? So that's really good. All right, let's look at Roman chamomile. Now, when I first started, I had Roman chamomile and then it was out of stock for like 18 months. It was awful. Everybody wanted it because it wasn't available. Well, guess what? It's available now. So it's been around for a while now since it was out of stock, but it's a very good oil. You can use it aromatically, topically, and internally. It is steam distilled from the flowers of the plant. This oil historically was used to clear the mind and empower the people before battles, okay, to give them courage. So this oil is the oil of spiritual purpose, and it helps you live to your true life's purpose. It's going to help you feel guided and peaceful, fulfilled, relaxed, and I would even suggest trying it with some frankincense. I think that would be a fun combination right there. This is going to affect different body systems, so emotional balance, your nervous system, and it's going to help with your skin too. This has a very calming effect on the skin, and it's also going to help with healthy immune function, of course. You can add 1 or 2 drops to your moisturizer for youthful skin. You can diffuse it or put it on the bottom of your feet to help you sleep better. And not that you would be angry or irritable, but if you know someone who is angry or irritable, you can put this oil on them and help them feel better. All right, so what else can we do with it? It blends well with the following oils. So lavender, rose, geranium, balance, clary sage. It can blend well with all of those oils. Okay, it's a great one that you can apply over your heart for feelings of calmness. So if you're feeling over anxious or upset about something, Roman chamomile over your heart can help calm you down. Right. We always turn to the lavenders and the ones we know, right? So these are giving you some different options, which I think is good to have. All right, so the next one is very familiar to you. I'm sure it's wintergreen, and we get our wintergreen from Nepal. It is steam distilled from the leaf. It has a sweet, minty, refreshing scent. It is aromatic and topical, but not internal. Okay, we do not take wintergreen internal, and it has the safety cap on top. This is the oil of surrender. And so this oil is going to help anyone who is strong-willed let go of their need to know and their need to be right. And it can give you inner strength. Okay. This is a great one to apply to the skin, especially in areas where muscles are tired and aching and joints are tired and aching. It's going to help offer some soothing relief to that discomfort, okay? It also can have like a little warming sensation. You can put it on after exercise over large muscles to help them recover and calm down. It is very cooling. So I would encourage you not to do it when you're either sweaty or just got out of the shower or going in the shower, because you know how oil and water mix. So it's gonna drive that oil in deeper. So just know if you do that, you're gonna feel it and bring it some coconut oil. All right, so it has the same chemical makeup as birch, very similar in its active ingredients, the chemical makeup there. You can diffuse it for a sweet, uplifting aroma. I love the smell of wintergreen. That's nice and refreshing. I know we had our, what was it, tangerine lime? That was spearmint. Oh, well, I was stretching there. All right, so it's commonly used. You'll see a lot of things that are oral health things are flavored with wintergreen, but ours is not internal. So I'm not quite sure what all those flavorings are. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? All right, so it's also, let's see, you can place, oh, this is a good one. So you can put it on a cotton ball and put it in places where it's stinky. So think like gym bag for kids at school, or stinky shoes, PE shoes, or soccer shoes, or uniforms that are sports uniforms or something that's stinky. And it will actually help mask those odors. All right. So the next oil I'm going to talk about, you probably don't have. Curious to see who has it. We have birch. So birch was an oil that we could get from convention. This past year, it was not given in our convention kit as it has been in the past, but birch is an amazing oil. It is very strong, and it's very similar to wintergreen. So like I said, if you have wintergreen, it's got a very similar makeup as birch. They complement each other and are very similar. All right, so it can promote healthy muscles and bones. So a good time for this, I have birch, and it just sits in my drawer because I didn't know what to do with it, right? So now I've been helping people by using it. But if you have a broken bone, now obviously we have to go get the bone set, right? But you can put birch on to help promote healing and making it grow better, heal better. So it's going to help with healthy muscles and bones. It's going to influence and elevate and open and increase awareness in the sensory system. It's one you'd like to avoid during pregnancy. Also not good for someone with epilepsy. There aren't a whole lot of times we have to say don't use something because doTERRA's oils are so pure and so safe. But you do want to do your research when someone has a major health issue. You know, birch can have an effect on them. All right, so this oil blends well with basil and bergamot and cypress and geranium. Emotionally speaking, it is the oil of support. So if you have birch or need birch, it will help you feel strengthened, grounded, connected. It offers support when you feel weak, okay? Which is interesting because it's good for bone health. So support for bones, interesting. All right, so the next oil is rose. And again, this, just like jasmine, came out in 2017 when we were first able to purchase this in our Rose Touch. And I absolutely love this oil. I don't use it every day, but I will tell you my favorite way to use it is just right over my heart. It is the oil of divine love. And it is a powerful healer of the heart and helps you feel loved, protects your heart, and helps you be empathetic towards others. So emotionally, that's a great oil for those feelings. It is steam distilled from the flowers, and it is a two-part process. So getting our rose oil is a big, big deal. That's why it is so expensive and hard. It's hard to source, and it's limited. And maybe someone can put in the chat bar, but I forget how many petals it takes to make our rose oil. But I want to say it's like something crazy, like 250,000 rose petals to make a bottle of rose. All right, so the scent is obviously going to smell like roses, floral, sweet, a little dry. It's an oil that's good to dilute. I don't dilute it when I put it on because it's already diluted in the Rose Touch. But you can dilute it further if you wanted to because it's so strong, okay? You don't need a lot. A little bit goes a long way. So you could probably get some Epsom salts if you wanted to take a bath with your rose and put some, I don't know, 3 to 5 drops in a big bucket of Epsom salts. And that's probably going to be enough to give that scent and offer that benefit of relaxing in the bath, right? This is great for balancing moisture levels in the skin. So if you have dry skin, you can put this where your skin is dry, and it will help encourage that skin to be more moisturized. It's emotionally uplifting. As I said, it's the oil of divine love. It also helps with skin tone and healthy complexion. So it's in a lot of our skincare products, in case you haven't noticed already. And a little goes a long way, so you don't need a lot. All right, so the next oil is tangerine. And tangerine is so yummy. We used to have it, and it was just like a surprise oil here and there. And then Dr. Hill made it a permanent addition to our oil collection. So I'm so glad for that. All right, so tangerine is aromatic, topical, and internal. And we get the oil from the peel, so the rind, and it is cold press expressed extraction. So it's not like our other ones where they're steam distilled. So it's an interesting, different process. This one is sweet and tangy and fresh and just so yummy. Can you believe that it is the oil of cheer and creativity? Of course it is. Because it makes you cheerful. So it helps you feel cheerful, lighthearted, spontaneous, and joyful. Tangerine. It's going to help with healthy joints. It's going to help the lymphatic system in your body. It's also going to help the circulatory system. It is a mood elevator. Obviously, it's going to take us, the oil of cheer. It's going to bring us to cheering up. Encourages playfulness. It's an excellent source of antioxidant support. So if you're putting it in your water, think of all the extra benefits. It doesn't just taste yummy, and it's not just cleansing your body, but it's great for all these other things too. It has a soothing and relaxing aroma. It also is going to help with supporting your healthy immune system. All right. And we have 3 more oils. Stick with me. I'll try to get through these as quickly as possible. I hope you're getting some good information here. All right, so the next one is cumin. Now, this was in a cooking set a couple of years ago. And if for some reason you need this oil, reach out to whoever invited you to this class, because you never know, somebody might have some if you need it. But it is the oil of balanced ambition and balanced zeal, being respectful and considerate of others. It is steam distilled. That's where they process it. It's going to support healthy digestion, and it enhances the flavor of savory dishes and smoked meats. So you can cook with it, of course. All right. It provides temporary relief from occasional muscle spasms. It provides emotional support and may uplift feelings of anxiousness and stress. And cumin is in tacos, right? Somebody give me a yeah. Because who doesn't love tacos? That makes me happy. So of course it's going to uplift my feelings, right? Okay. All right. So it supports circulation. It boosts self-confidence. As I said, it's balancing to your emotions. It's another one that we would avoid during pregnancy. And I don't really have any reason why. It just said to avoid during pregnancy. And if I see that one place, then I just blanket that and just say, everybody avoid it. And it can be photosensitive, which is interesting because mostly it's our citrus oils that are photosensitive, but for some reason this one also came up that way too. All right, so the next oil is dill. And dill was also in that same set with our cumin. And so this is steam distilled from the whole plant. It promotes a healthy digestive tract and cardiovascular system. It can also help calm the nervous system. This is the oil of learning. So this oil is going to help you feel engaged and motivated and give you mental clarity. And it reminds me of rosemary, because rosemary also does a lot of that with the focus and concentration. So if you are studying for an exam, they say to diffuse rosemary, and then before you take the exam, put rosemary on or have it with you. And then if you smell it, it's supposed to help you recall information. I'm not in school anymore, so I don't know, but someone needs to try it. Dill reminds me of that because it does a lot of the same things. All right, so it's also good. You can use this blend in your diffuser. I'm not sure how it's going to smell. I'm just going to be honest, but it's Roman chamomile and dill, and it can help calm fidgety children. Anybody with fidgety children wants dill now, I'm sure. There are other options too, but I just thought that was interesting. Of course, you can use it with cooking. I know someone who loved to put it in their chicken salad. Diffuses well with bergamot and lemon to help lessen strength and anxious feelings. All right, and let's go on to our last oil. I'm almost there. Zenda Crenn. So I don't know if you guys are using Zenda Crenn. It's another one of those oil blends that you can use either in a gel cap or you can buy the oil. I absolutely prefer the gel caps because this one also is interesting to taste. It's tangerine, but don't let that fool you. Rosemary, geranium, juniper berry, and cilantro. And yeah, you can taste all those. So I would do the gel caps if you're going to do it internally. This is an amazing oil for your body. This is for emotional reasons, this one is the oil of vitality and transition. So just like it physically cleanses the body, it also cleanses our emotions. So it's a great oil for if you're trying to get rid of a bad habit and trying to develop a new habit. So it's a great oil for that. So the scent of this blend is herbaceous and pungent and floral. Floral's a stretch, so just gonna say it's probably more pungent. Yeah, it has geranium in it, and geranium is your liver's best friend. All right, so if you have geranium, just a side note, rub it on your liver every day. It's really, really good for your liver. It happens to be in this blend, so this blend is obviously really good for cleansing your liver and all of your organs. All right, so Zenda Crenn, this is our detoxification blend. So this is something you want to take to cleanse your body. It's going to help cleanse your cells. Cilantro helps cleanse. It's in there. Tangerine we learned about. All these oils are really good at cleansing. Juniper berry is really good for your urinary tract. It's all connected. It's a great blend. Purifying, detoxifying to the body systems helps your body rid itself of unwanted substances. So a lot of times if someone's been ill, this is a great oil to help cleanse the body afterwards, especially if they had to take some extra medications, just kind of cleansing the body. You can add 1 to 2 drops in a citrus drink or tea or something that will help you get it down, but I would still encourage the gel caps. So I do one of those every day. It just helps with cleansing the body. All right, so you made it. You got through all the oils and it's 9:30. So I'm gonna open up the chat bar if there's anyone that has questions. And Helen says, yes, cumins and tacos. I thought so. I just didn't want to say it wrong. I would love it if they made these permanent too. Let me just scroll up real quick. Yes, everybody could hear me good. I love diffusing with holiday joy. That was our, what oil was that? That was the first one. Douglas fir. All right, and then 242,000 hand-picked rose petals make up 5 ounces of rose oil. Just in case you're on the phone and you don't see the chat bar, it's 242,000. That's a lot of rose petals. Unbelievable. All right, so I don't see any extra questions here, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this recording off.